What's up guys, Stitch Productions here, coming at you with another review, and today we're going to be looking at the Mainline Transformers 1 Optimus Prime and the Studio Series Transformers 1 Optimus Prime. Now both these figures came out at the same time, and unlike some of the Rise of the Beast toys like Nightbird, these are actually very different, while sharing some minor similarities. So first we're going to be looking at the Transformers 1 Optimus Prime, and this figure was 20 bucks at Target. Very nice little figure. Simple. Very toy feeling. Like the plastic quality definitely makes it feel like a cheaper toy. Along with the colors, it's much more vibrant for kids. And I think it looks alright. I mean, it rolls really well, surprisingly. Has the cannons that are able to turn around, like in the trailer. So that's pretty cool. And has, as you can see right there, it has weapon storage, but so you can take that out if you want to, if you don't want anything on the back. Honestly, and if I have to say, this isn't my favorite truck mode for Optimus Prime. To be honest, I think probably the best design is the Fall of Cybertron, War for Cybertron design for a truck, but I think this is all right. It's no big deal. But yeah, that's basically it for this guy's alternate mode. Yeah, so let's move on to the Studio Series one. Now, the Studio Series one, as you could tell, is a little bit bigger and has a lot of different parts to it. First things first, the leg transformation and the arm transformation are almost completely different, and that's where my negatives start coming in. I really don't like how the hands transform. The hands are just completely visible in vehicle mode, and that kind of sucks as compared to this one where it at least folds up. To be honest, neither of these really have good ways to hide the hands. The Studio Series one has the same type of weapon storage. It just stores in the legs, plugs into there, and then you could take it off like so. This guy has some nice tail lights painted. I do prefer the deco of this figure. It's a lot more muted. And for the record, you know, with the promotional images, this gray does not look good, but it really, even though I'm not a huge fan of it, and it looks yellowed, it does work well in person. And yeah, this also does come with one extra accessory, that being the front cannons that you could put up front in the front of the vehicle. And I'd say those look alright. It does suck that you can't do, this does have the folding out like the other one, so if you want to make it look like he has no weapons, you can just fold them behind. And this guy rolls very well. I'm surprised. Usually I don't get figures that roll well, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the vehicle modes for both of these guys. Pretty good vehicle mode. Not my kind of what I'd imagine for a Cybertron mode Optimus Prime, but if I had to pick which one looks better, probably the Studio Series one. I think the colors are better. I think the colors are better and the bulkiness is nicer. But the Mainline one is a nice alternative. And, you know, it does transform into a smaller vehicle since this is meant to be like an Orion Pax type character. So yeah, let's move on to the size comparisons. For size comparisons, here we have Studio Series and Mainline Transformers 1 Optimus Prime with Orion Pax, Legacy Evolution Animated Optimus Prime, and Leader Class Armada Megatron. And here we have the two Optimus Prime / Orion packs in their robot mode. And there is a good number of similarities between these figures. But let's start off with the mainline one. So the mainline Optimus Prime, I definitely prefer the look of. I prefer the lanky aesthetic of the figure. I really wish it came with a maskless face or something like that to be more reminiscent of the Orion packs we see in the movie, because I believe that this is primarily what it's based on. But I do really like the paint apps. I think the paint is great. I'm really surprised that they touched it up with a lot of silver paint and such a good amount of color breakup. To be honest, I was not expecting that for a $20 mainline toy. And for the accessory, you do get his axe that plugs in right there. And you even get the cool idea that this axe is coming from his hand. And I feel like it looks pretty good. And another feature that this does come with the Matrix. So it comes out by folding out the grill, and you just pull it out like that. Plugs in right there. And you can recreate him holding the Matrix pose. So you just plug it in right in there with both hands. There we go. Again, surprisingly comes with a lot and does a lot for being a $20 mainline toy, and I think that's very impressive. Along with that, his smokestacks can come off to be little pistols if you want that. So yeah, that's just as cool in my opinion. I think this is a solid mainline toy and definitely does a lot for its price. So let's move on to the Studio Series one. Now this has very similar things. First things first, this does come with three accessories kind of. First accessory is the axe, can go in either hand. This one is clear instead of a painted one. And to be honest, I'd probably say I like the painted one a smidge more, just because it hides the hand better. I don't know. I feel like this, and I wish this was on some kind of swivel or ball joint, so then you can rotate it like this and put the axe so you don't have to always see the hand. I don't know. That kind of sucks with it. Along with that, the guns that he came with earlier, those could store inside of his backpack right here. There we go. Swords like that. And last thing is the Matrix of Leadership. This goes in the hand the same way, but this time it has a clear plastic chest, so you can actually see it. And this is pretty cool. That it just slides into his fists right there. This is the one reason I'm not a big fan of this one's Matrix. It's because it is a pain in the butt to put in his hands. But yeah, there we go. It just takes a little bit of force. And then the other hand, and there you go. He could hold the Matrix too, which is pretty cool. I do prefer the head sculpt a bit more on this figure. I definitely think it has much more detail. That might be because the other one is a smaller head. Oh yeah, and this guy also, you can take off the smokestacks and those can become pistols. I wonder if he is going to do that in the movie. At the time of recording this, the movie is not out. Trailer 2 isn't even out yet. So I believe Trailer 2 is dropping today, the day I'm recording this video. So I'm curious if he uses his smokestacks as a gun. But along with that, new details that this figure has is, his crotch can go up and down like that, which I'm not opposed to. I think it's all right. But and then, but the thing is, sometimes with transformations, it falls off really easily. And of course, when I want to just pull it off, it doesn't want to come off. But if it happens, it happens. I hear that's a common issue with people's figures. But aside from that, let us move on to the posability of both of these figures. So, let me just put you back on. Orion pack started over here, has a swivel at the head, can look up that far and down, can T-pose, can punch forward, swivel here, elbow, nothing at the wrist, kind of at the waist. You can force it, but there's kind of like it's kind of gets hindered by the backpack. Can kick forward and can do the splits. The splits has a swivel here and a knee. No pivot. I feel like if they added a pivot, this figure would honestly be like perfect. But then as for the Studio Series 1, has a swivel at the head, can T-pose, has a swivel here, has elbow, has a swivel at the waist, but like the other one, that gets hindered by the guns. But if you don't have the guns, full swivel, can do the splits, forward and back, swivel at the knee and a knee joint, and has a really, really good pivot. So if you were looking for something with better posability, I would definitely recommend the Studio Series 1. But let us move on to the size comparisons and then go on to my final thoughts. For size comparisons, here we have Mainline Optimus Prime and Studio Series Optimus Prime with Legacy Orion packs, Legacy Evolution Animated Optimus Prime, Armada Megatron, and for the fun of it, let's bring in the A Hero is Born Orion packs, and my favorite Orion packs, the Thrilling 30s Orion packs. So, what are my thoughts on these two figures? Which do I think is the best? Well, to be honest, that's a hard choice. On the one hand, you have the Mainline figure, which is a much more screen-accurate, in my opinion, version of the Orion packs we see in the movie. And then we have the Studio Series one, which the final movie isn't out yet, so I don't even know if this is even remotely identical. I mean, all I have is this one image of Optimus Prime to compare it to, and I mean, it looks like him for the most part, but I will say, if I had to pick one, I'd probably have to go with the Studio Series loosely. I just think it's a way better posable figure, and it has much more to it. I really wish that they made one of these guys look like Orion packs, like either they give him the head sculpt or something, because I do kind of like the Orion packs design, but I think both of these figures are pretty good, and if you just need a cheap Optimus Prime, a deluxe Optimus Prime, then I'd highly recommend the Mainline one. It's a very fun figure, and it's Orion packs, and I just think it's very much worth the value of $20. And for an extra $4, then you could get a cooler one, one that has much more to it. And, I think they're both really, really fun figures. I highly recommend them. And, what do you guys think? Do you guys have these figures? Which one do you guys think is better? Leave it down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye, guys.